Hey George, just want to give you a quick update on where we are. I've got a training class tomorrow that goes from like 9 to 3, but we can talk anytime after that. But I know that's after your meeting with the client, so just wanted to kind of go over a few things so you'd be well versed on where we are. Um, so, so maybe just kind of show you what we have in place and what we have left to do, which is really small, I promise. Let me show you. Okay, so going over to MailChimp. So right now I've got these two templates. One is kind of a placeholder for just some code that I want to keep, but this is the one that I'm testing with right now. So if I go to this template, and so like quick, verbiage here, a campaign is what actually goes out to the users, and you can have a campaign use a template, use the HTML from the template, and that's what we're doing here. So I'm going to just go to go to this template. And I've just kind of blanked this thing out, and it's just got just a simple HTML body to it, nothing special whatsoever. So I'm just going to hop back out, go to templates. Okay, so this is the one we're looking at, first test biodiesel. So I'm going to come here to some code that's running on my machine, and I'm going to just click start, and you'll see this thing pop up, and then after a couple seconds, it's gone. That's it, done. So now we'll go back here to the biodiesel one we just looked at and click edit to look at it, and now you'll see it's got all the images and text and everything. Okay, and there's a couple cleanup items I got to do here, but it's really small anyway, but we'll talk about what we need to do here in a second. So I've got that done. The next step is to create a campaign, and there's a guy that wrote a wrapper, an SDK for MailChimp, and everyone lauds this thing as being the greatest, and it really has been kind of a headache for me because it doesn't do everything that it advertises. So I've had to kind of drop back and use the actual MailChimp API. So this is from MailChimp.com, and it's like if you want to interact with their API, this is the longhand code that you have to write. So I tried using his code, this other guy's code, to quickly create the campaign and use the template. It doesn't work. So now I just have to kind of go in and write my own, and really it's not that complicated. There's just I'm trying to find an example, but I don't see one quickly I can grab here. But anyway, there's just a few lines of code that I have to write that say, okay, here's the template ID, here's the the list, the people that we're sending this to, here's the title, the reply to, just set up some parameters, and then tell that campaign to run tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So creating a campaign based off of the template is one thing we have left to do. And again, it shouldn't take long at all. I mean, I'm really hoping to get it done in like 30 to 60 minutes. The second thing we need to do is to automate this. So going back to my code here, this one right here. So the thing where I just kind of click start and it runs for about 2 or 3 seconds and then it's done. That's what we're going to automate. So if you go, I'm going to click back over here to this. All I need to do is create a scheduled task, and it's going to look like this. So this is in Windows. So we'll do this on the server, and I'll just go in and say create a schedule weekly, Monday through Friday, run at 1 a.m. and then say okay, and then I'll say go actions like go run that thing that we just did. So we'll do that Monday through Friday. I kind of came up with an easier way of doing this than what we thought about before. I was going to have like this interface, I was going to have like calendars and like click a button and we'll go create like 30 days of scheduled events. But you had mentioned the thing about, we have something in place that tells if today is a holiday. And so I figure what I'll do is I'll just go back to this code, and the first thing you'll do is say, is today a holiday? If it is, don't run. Actually, probably what I'll do is I'll say, is today Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? And if it is, okay, is it a holiday? If no, then run. If yes, then stop. And that way we don't have to do anything. We'll just run biodiesel, and it's going to run every Monday through Friday, all 12 months out of the year with no other intervention. And we'll just check like, is today a federal holiday? So for those 9, 10, or 11, I can't remember how many federal holidays there are, but if it is a federal holiday, it won't run. If it's not, then it will run. And that way, it's kind of nice because they don't have to go in and check at the close to the end of each month to run the next month's worth um, of of emails. It's just going to run Monday through Friday unless it's a holiday, and so set it and forget it. There, set up the schedule, have this thing create a campaign, and then a little bit of cleanup. So I want to kind of explain some of the cleanup. So this was kind of the hysterical finding that really kind of drove me nuts over the weekend. And I'm going to kind of scroll so I can find a good example here. Well, okay, so this all comes down to ASCII encoding, and this drives me nuts because I guarantee you these guys, like, I don't know, they're running on Linux servers that whoever like wrote this stuff like years and years ago, like they just can't get off of that base code, or they can't find someone to do it better. It's too expensive, so they just have never advertised what they're doing here. But the problem that I had is, and I'm highlighting this, you can't have a quotation mark in the email. It has to be escaped. And I've got the email from MailChimp documenting this. And so the thing is like there's two ways of doing a quotation mark. And let me pull this up real quick. Again, I'm only explaining this to you because I feel like I just have to like justify like all this extra time, because I just didn't want you to think I was fooling around. Honestly, this has just been a bit of a headache. So here's a quotation mark, and in HTML you can do at quote like that, and that'll work. But it won't work if it's in like a tag. So if I said image source equals, some path here .jpg. So that would be like a normal image tag. You can't put the at and quote thing right here. It won't work. And you're supposed to be able to do like a and I don't have it pulled up. It's like and ch39 semicolon. You're supposed to be able to do something like that, but again, that won't work in here either. And I asked them about this, and they haven't gotten back to me yet. But what I did find is that if I submit my template like this, and this is not valid HTML, like this normally would not work, but if I submit this to the template in that code that I just ran a couple times for you, you'll notice that MailChimp goes in and detects that and puts them back in. So when I submitted this template, there's no quote there around container, and there's no quote here around style, but their code goes in and changes that for me so that it's standard HTML. So that took me like 2 days to figure out, because mainly you send them an email and they take about a good 24 hours to get back to you. So anyway, that was like one of the big headaches, but we've gotten past that. So really it's just create a campaign, create the schedule, and clean up. I mean, this right here is supposed to be an image, but there's a little bit of a break in how the image source is being written. So I just have to fix that, and it's no big deal. Once I fix it once, it'll fix it for all these right here. So anyway, so that's that. I guess I got this class between 9 and 3 tomorrow. After that, I'm on this, like white on rice, and we'll have these two things knocked out, and we're ready to go. And I know you wanted the industry-related news and all that dropped out, and I will get that removed. And the rest of it's just getting some of these styles reapplied. The other thing that I was kind of annoying is like, so at the top of this template, I've got some CSS styles defined here. Style. Okay. I was like, where is that? So I've got some CSS styles up here that are supposed to be inherited by the things below. And what MailChimp does is it actually would prefer that you go ahead and just put all these styles in line, because they say that there are some email clients that just won't read an inline style sheet, but they will parse through styles. So like, let me find a good one here. As I get down towards the table stuff. So like alt row, I'm using this to change the color of the row. So like this one's going to be orange, and I'm kind of tilting my screen. So that is working a little bit. Well, I'm sorry, I take that back. It's working here because this is not an email. This is a web page. But when you run it as an email, it doesn't parse, and this color doesn't come through like it's supposed to. So just got to rewrite my code a little bit to insert these styles on every element where they belong. Again, not hard. Just where I've got alt row written, I just go in and add the style, and that's it. So I've just got to do that on 10 or 15 different styles, and then that way all the styles will come in the way they're supposed to. So those three things: create a campaign, schedule it, fix these styles and clean up, and we're done on this. On a plus side, let me see if I can find this real quick. Yeah. So on a plus side, I've got this thing ready to go for new verticals. So right here, I've got create new campaign, and I'm passing it a parameter of which vertical. So right now I'm saying biodiesel. Well, if it's biodiesel, then go do this. So when we're ready to do animal fat, all I gotta do is come in here and say, okay, case, animal fat, grab this template, and then it will be so much faster to do the next vertical. Of course, we'll have to like build that template. That'll take a little bit of time, but everything else is just like add in a hook for that new vertical, and the rest is already written for us. There's nothing else to do. So so the next vertical will go much faster. Sorry, I didn't mean to move that. So okay, so that's about it. Give me send me an email or call me if any questions. If I don't answer, I'll call you right back as soon as I can. And so that's what's going with that, and we'll have this done lickety split. And again, I appreciate your patience, and hopefully the client realizes that we've been working hard on this. It's just MailChimp is just, man, all the stuff that I've learned, you won't find this anywhere. You just have to hit this brick wall, and then eventually throw your hands up in the air, and then like email MailChimp, and then wait a day for them to reply. And they always give you just the answer that you asked for, and nothing more. And so 2 or 3 follow-up emails, that's 2 or 3 days just to get the full answer, because they're just like, this is all you asked for, this is all I'm going to give you, I'm not going to elaborate at all. So anyway, we're past that, and I think we're down the home stretch. We're on the 5-yard line. So let me know if you need anything. Talk to you soon. Thanks.